Hello, my name's Andrew Dean and welcome to In Focus. In Focus is an amazing gimmick. It gives you the ability to switch items, billets, cards, money, anything you want you can switch at any time. Not only that, you can make items appear, decks of cards, Rubik's Cubes, anything you want you can make appear. It is that good. It leaves you clean at the end. And I've been showing you the gimmick. So here all the time we have one card and one card only, and it is the card you signed. That was brilliant, thank you. In Focus has been a staple of my professional repertoire for a long time. It's quick, it's punchy, and it's guaranteed to get those reactions where your audience will remember the trick long after you've left the table. And one card here, if you take those, what was your card that you signed? It was? Take it and have a look.
How did you do that?
Oh.
It's magic.
I'm Andrew Dean, and this is In Focus. Hello, good evening. Wednesday again, can you believe it? 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. If you've got a minute, just while we're waiting for Joelle to join us, if you could like, share, let all the other people on your friends list, all those other magicians that aren't aware of Wednesday night's Magic Jam, let them know and let them join in as well, because we've got lots of great stuff this evening. We've got the fabulous Marc Oberon joining us. We've got the winner of last week's challenge as well. We had, again, fabulous. We've got some very talented people that are watching. So Joelle, your mic's muted, so there we go. Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Oh, there is a bit of a lag with you, Joelle, at the moment, so I don't know what's going on. You're still, your lips aren't moving, but you're talking. So Joelle's currently practicing his ventriloquism act. So yeah, so last week we did the challenge. The challenge was, we had a bit of a magic jam last week because the guest that we were about to have on sort of wasn't too well, so we decided to have a magic jam. Now the magic jam was a deck of cards, wine glass, and you had to create a trick with that. So we had to mess around and give you a few ideas, and I've got to be honest, well impressed with what people have come up with. So hello, Joelle.
Hello, I'm in.
Oh, there he is. There he is. You were talking like a ventriloquist. You were doing really well as well. Your lips weren't even moving.
It's pretty good, right?
I was trying to not move my lips then, but yeah, it's quite weird. Yeah. So how are you doing? Are you well?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling
Good.
very summery. Look at the shirt. I've got a tan. Do you want to see my white bits? Look at that.
Oh,
Look at the white bits. Look at the white bits. Look at that. I'm not going to ask you. No,
I
don't do it. No.
I've been wearing a bra. You want to see my bra, Mark?
Oh, we'll be
Not
getting
good.
kicked on Facebook for too much flesh.
Is that a rule? Is that a criteria now?
I don't know. I don't know. And some of the
Probably
some
will
of the
be
pick
for us.
groups, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, Joel.
No, I was saying it probably will be a criteria for us.
Probably.
Yeah. Good to see everybody who's joined us. Hi, Gideon. Hi, Wes, Paul, Willie, Matthew, Adam, Jack, Caroline. Hello. Hope you're all keeping well. So, Andy, we've got a good show lined up. We set a nice little competition as well.
I know. Do you know? I'm Really looking forward to tonight. I mean, where else do I get a front seat? I mean, we've been so fortunate. We get a front seat to watch some of the best magicians about. They come on, talk to us, show us a few tricks, and tell us some secrets, and it's great. Really is. So yeah,
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
how did you watch all of the competition entries from last week?
I did. I thought they're absolutely brilliant. All of them were just fantastic. I'm not just saying that to patronise you people who are now watching, but if it does sound patronising, then it's all right to be patronised every now and again. But yeah, I did, Andy. I loved them. I thought they were all absolutely brilliant.
How can you apologise in mid-sentence? Go, well.
Who cares? Who cares?
I know. But they were really good. How much wine and beer was consumed in creating the videos, though? That was a concern.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, I don't drink.
Do you not drink?
No, I don't drink. No, I don't drink alcohol. No.
That's something I didn't know. Mind you, we did go for a drink, didn't we, at the Ruskin? But I don't think you had. Yeah.
No, I don't drink.
No.
No.
Oh, you're a cheap date.
I am pretty cheap. But what I smoke is a little bit more expensive than alcohol. I'm only playing.
No, it's those vape machines, isn't it?
Oh, pricey.
I know. So, talking of vapes, a vape even appeared in one of the videos.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Good callback. Good callback.
So the competition was, we set a little competition where me and Andy, if you watched the show last week, me and Andy were messing around, having a little faff with playing cards and wine glasses. We came up with a few ideas, and our little competition was basically for you guys to kind of come up with something involving a playing card and a wine glass, and that was basically it. And yeah, as we said, we've had some like amazing entrants. In fact, was this a competition we set, Andy, or was it just a challenge? I don't know.
I think it was just a challenge. I think we get into the habit, don't we? We'll set a competition, we'll do it, and because we are quite nice, we do give even the challenges. We just give stuff away.
Yeah. No, we've just been manipulated.
It's nice to be nice. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, we've just basically been manipulated. That's it. We are people's puppets.
I am very easily led, Joel. So yeah. So if I do get 1,000 likes, I might. No, I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to do it.
So, if anybody wants to check out, basically we've had that many entrants. If we played everybody's video right now, it would last around about 15 to 20 minutes of just magicians doing tricks. Genuinely, I think everybody's entrance was fantastic. They were all brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, they were really good. I mean, and such a variation. There was cards going through handkerchiefs. There was cards vanishing. There was a mentalism effect. There was a multiple change, and just being able to watch those little creations come out of what we discussed, and us just messing about, really. It was so nice, and so, really, really creative. I know I say it every week. I'm fortunate to be part of such an amazing sort of group of people. But every week, it's just reinforced. It really is. Every week, I look at the posts and people just commenting on the videos and the encouragement. It really is so nice. I think we get a bit bogged down with some of the groups where, they're nitpicking and doing all that. And all the people that follow us and do all these things are all really nice. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, I had a favourite, and it happened to be your favourite as well.
It did. It really blew me out of the water, really, because it was such a... And I had to watch it a few times and go, oh, that was... very creative.
Yeah, so, everybody watching this at the moment are going to be thinking, so it's me. Is it me? Is it me? Is that mine? But we appreciate everybody entering. We really do.
If you've not seen them, go to our Facebook page. They're all on there. Have a look. They're on a couple of different posts. But if you scroll down, you'll see them, and they're fabulous. They're well worth going to check out. So I think
Yeah.
what we might do at some point over the next week or so, we'll just repost them and get them back up on the page so everybody can see them. Even if you're not a member, join the Real Workers group. We'll post them in there as well.
Absolutely. And if you have only just joined us, make sure you share this. Give us a like as well. Join our Facebook page. We have the Magic Jam every single week. We have amazing guests on, and you know, we can only do these shows if you people are watching it, and that's basically it.
And
sorry, go on.
well, just we've been talking as well. I think we're going to start. We're talking about sort of maintaining this and doing this after sort of lockdown and everything else when life gets back to some normality, but going out on the road and doing it as well. So maybe going to visit other magicians, and you know, if they do a stage show, we might watch the stage show and stuff like that, and you know, and actually take you on the road with us. So if you've got any suggestions on what you'd like to see or who you'd like for us to get on, let us know, because we'd like to obviously bring it. We're getting people on that we like and we enjoy watching. So if there's anybody that you want to see on the next few shows, let us know. We'll try and get in touch with them and hopefully get them on for you as well. Yeah,
absolutely. But like you say, Andy, we'll keep it rolling. You know, even once lockdown has ended, we'll keep this rolling, because the reality is, I think when something good is actually taken away, I mean, it's just come from an idea that we've had, and I think when something good goes away, you're just leaving people with, well, that little gap, something that was there, you know.
And you know, and what else is there to do on a Wednesday evening?
Yeah, exactly. Right, should we announce the winner?
Well, shall we watch the video and then? Yeah,
absolutely. I'm going to try and start my camera out as well.
Okay, so this is the winner of last week's glass challenge. Enjoy.
Hey, that's a brilliant little act.
Good was the reappearance. That was just nice. Well, when it vanished, I'm like, oh, it's disappeared. Where's it going to reappear? And then,
absolutely. It fooled the pants out of me a million times just watching it. It was just so good. It was wow, amazing. Yeah. So well done. Well done.
They were all amazing. I mean, we had Paul Silvestre. Magic's best kept secret. He tells you himself. That's why you've not heard of him. Fabulous, and the presentation of the glass and the wine and so good. Then you've got that was Paul Valentine that was the winner. So Paul Valentine, well done, Paul. Send me a message and I'll get something out in the post.
Have you seen? I mean, I've seen them all and I really like them all, but what I have tried to do, so Jack Waller, I tried to get your video onto this just to show it, because I wanted to do your video as a little bit of an experiment as well to see if everybody would, you know, I'm not going to say anymore, because you can go onto the Facebook page page and check it out, people. Make sure you have a little look at it. It's on the Real Workers Magic page, and it's a little experiment that you can try yourself. And it worked for me. Did it work for you, Andy?
It did. Yeah. It was a card that I was thinking of. Yeah.
Clever idea as well. The way you
very nice, very nice. Yeah, very. He very much reminded me of Pete Turner.
Right,
it was very, very Pete Turner-esque. So yeah,
absolutely,
But Gideon posted a video, and he said it was the first one he'd ever done.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Gideon, that was amazing and so well constructed and really nice. So well done. With Jack, obviously we just mentioned Jack, and Adam Evans. He produces more magic videos than L&L. He's very good.
The only thing he needs is the audience. He needs David in his audience.
I know. But I mean, Adam he changed the card and then took the card out again, put it back in, and it changed again. So multiple change. So really good.
Oh, it's nice to see. It's really good. Yeah.
So,
well done, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
A round of applause.
Right.
So just from reading the comments, Jack said he'd quite like to do more magic jams like we did last week. So maybe we do something, if we have like 3 guests a month and then we have a magic jam or something like that.
Yeah.
If people want to, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, if people want to give us ideas, so if they go, oh, I'm really working on a matrix, or I want to work on this, or I want to work on mentalism, or, anything like that. I mean, between the pair of us, we can cover pretty much everything, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good idea. As Andy says, if anybody's got any ideas or things you want to throw in, be our guest. We'll tackle anything that we can. So,
yeah. As a hive mind, we'll be able to create miracles.
Absolutely. Now, I'm looking forward to getting our guest on. Do you think we should bring the guest on now? Is there anything that we need to cover?
Well, I tell you what. I mean, what can we say? Somebody's just said they like my beard. Thank you. Cheers, Paul.
It's Paul. It's Paul because you were complimenting earlier on. He doesn't really mean it.
Paul knows I love him. I know Paul. Paul. He does a lot of theatre as well now. He acts a lot, which you can tell really comes through in his performance, because really sells that idea of, so Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what can we say about Mark? I mean, I don't think there's anything. I was going through his back catalogue of awards. He's won everything. Fizz and Parlour first place. He's Gold Star of the Inner Magic Circle. He's won the Macmillan International Award. He's appeared and headlined on like all the top cruises. I mean, I was looking at all the top cruises. I don't think there's anywhere he's not been in the world. And for Magic to take you to all around the world and perform on all those stages, it's just unbelievable. I mean,
absolutely.
Such a creative guy and so nice. We were talking before about his UV act. Unbelievable.
Phenomenal. And I remember watching Mark. This must have been, I think it was around about 4 years ago, and he was lecturing in the Lake District, and he performed his amazing appearing card routine, where card just basically, somebody thinks of a playing card, they name it, and his hand is in full view, it appears, he opens it up, and it's the card that they named, and it's just, it's unreal. But my point of this is, I remember saying to Mark, right, do it again, and I kept shouting out playing cards.
You were that guy, weren't you? You were that guy.
I kept shouting cards. 4 of clubs, boom, from there it was, 4 of clubs at his fingertips. 8 of diamonds, bang, 8 of diamonds. It was, honestly, Andy, it was like I'm not just saying this, but it was like experiencing magic again. You know, when we learn magic and we practice magic, and every now and then, well, not every now and then, but magic kind of like almost kind of like fades away from us because we're magicians and we're looking at how things work. Well, for me at the time, watching Mark was genuinely like just watching magic again, and that's the real reason why I kept shouting out playing cards.
to
Yeah.
get that. The first time you ever see a magic trick done well, you know, I had an uncle that did dynamic coins and it was okay. But then the first time I saw a proper magic trick was in a magic shop. I called in for the first time and I saw Harry Robson and he did a torn and restored and it just blew my mind. I'm like, how? So, and then you're like, oh, it's that addiction. It just gets you from that very first effect. And we do lose that a little bit. Like you said, we do. So it's nice. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I'd imagine if Marc Oberon did the dynamic coins, it'd be like watching David Copperfield walk through a wall of China.
Yeah, well, that'd be amazing. Yeah, it just brings some different element to it.
Absolutely.
Do we have some part of the UV to show people?
Yeah,
Can we show?
Yeah. What I'm going to ask though, just before I play this, if people who are watching this, would you do us a big favor? Hit share. I hate saying that, but hit share and share the video. We need to get as many magicians watching this as we possibly can. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, share it into the groups that you're in, all those different groups. You know, if you're in a group with a few magicians, share it into those. We're happy for you to share it everywhere and everywhere. So the more people we get in, the bigger the community and more stuff we can do.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit play. And is this video, do you want me to play the full thing, Andy? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's about 1.5 minutes long, so it should be. Yeah. So enjoy, honestly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marc Oberon invites you to blow your mind.
Wow. How good is that?
I know. Just give me 1 sec. I think my mic is being funny.
I can hear you fine, don't worry.
Oh, right, okay. Right, no problem. So, 1 sec. Right, how's that? Is that any better?
It's great. It's as it was. Nothing's changed. Hey. All right, people. Should we bring our guest on? Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause? Marc Oberon.
Marc Oberon.
Hi.
Hey, Marc. How are you?
Marc.
I'm great, thank you. I've just realised that clip you sent me, you just played, was really old. That's not the one that's not a very recent one. That's like it's 12 years or more old. Yeah, I think.
Well, you've not aged a day, Marc.
So yeah, at some point it'd be good to get the other one. I don't know, it's somewhere on my Facebook, but I'll get it to you at some point.
Okay. Well, maybe at some point I can kind of pull out of this and I'll try and find it and we can play it partway through if we can do that. And that would be no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how are you keeping, Marc?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. I'm just sort of pottering around in this lockdown situation and actually quite enjoying myself, really. I've been concentrating on my products because all my cruise ship work got cancelled, and so I've never had such a long stretch of time to focus on products, on improving existing ones and releasing. I've got 5 new things to come out over the next year.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so the lockdown's been really good for me in that sense. I've really developed things I wouldn't have done otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just
But that you're going back over old stuff as well and developing and updating and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's that whole thing of, 2.0, just the new version. After playing with something for years, you find better ways of doing it, and subtleties and nuances to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you said all your cruise ship work's cancelled. Was there like a lot of cruise ship? Were you meant to be visiting a lot of different countries this year?
Yeah, I've had quite a lot. I mean, I've got one in July, but it's not been officially cancelled, but I've got a feeling it won't happen. In fact, I doubt I'll be on a cruise ship for the rest of the year, really. But
yeah, it's a massive shame, isn't it?
Yeah. It's it's quite freaky,
Yeah. Oh yeah, really weird. It's like it's just so bizarre. It's just a really weird thing to happen. Matt, you're now in the middle where I wanted you originally. You are now officially Magic Jam Sandwich.
Oh no. Sorry, Mark. I apologize.
That's okay. Yeah.
So did I miss any awards out? I mean, going through your back catalogue, Mark, was just, I don't think there's anything you've not entered, performed and won.
Yeah, I did get really into competitions from around 2004 onwards.
Yeah.
And, all my attention in that area.
Yeah.
Was there one in particular that stands out? Is the one that you go, that was like a highlight? Or
yeah, I think it was the Society of American Magicians had there was a combined convention, Society of American Magicians and the International Brotherhood of Magicians in America, and there was a competition there, and friends of mine had said, well, go for it, but it was a public vote. There was 2,000 magicians in the audience, and so it wasn't they weren't judges. And friends of mine said, go for it, but you'll never win it, because Americans they'll just vote for an American. They're so patriotic. So I went into it and absolutely not expecting to win, and I did win, and I got a standing ovation. I think it might have been the first one I ever had, and it just completely took my breath away. I can't really describe it. It literally completely blew my mind. I was so that moment is probably the best performance moment I've ever had. And and then after, I think partly because I wasn't expecting to win as well. So that I think that adds something.
Absolutely. Yeah. What was the act?
It was the act that I won all the competitions with, really. It's kind of got that Midas theme of things turning to gold.
With the rose and the apple.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that is amazing. I saw your lecture on that. That was amazing, and done close up as well. Was just
thank you. Well, I mean, it's funny because it was a close up competition, but I think really the odd thing about doing close up magic competitions is it has to work close up, but it also has to project. You have to be able to project and fill the room. Whether there's 500 people or 2,000 people in the room, you've still got to reach them. There's a few things that I figured out over the years about competitions. Yeah.
Right.
Like one thing, somebody in the beginning told me, play to the judges, forget the rest of the audience, play to the judges. And I just found out that was completely bad advice. Really. I mean, the person that told me was a very wise person, but they didn't do competitions themselves. And I just think that the judges don't want to feel your gaze on them. They want to just kind of analyze the way that you work, and you've got to kind of reach beyond the judges and connect with the audience. And the wave that the energy that comes back from the audience to you. Passes through the judges, and the judges experience what they get through the audience experience, and that's a very important thing. I almost ignore the judges, not quite, but almost.
Yeah. I would imagine if you were just performing for the judges, and if the judges were kind of feeling that, it's like imagine an audience and just performing for one person in the audience. That's like, it definitely was like bad advice. Yeah. So people, if you're about to enter a competition, don't just perform for the judges, perform for everybody. Ultimately is what you're saying.
Yeah, little things like that kind of made all the difference over the years. Here's another one. When there's a camera on you and there's a screen, you know, I would literally look at the audience and think, well, there's 2,000 people in the audience, and I would actually gauge, because of the situation, how many people will be looking directly at me and how many will be looking at the screen. And so you think, right, I've got, say, 500 people that I need to be looking, you know, making connection with, but I've also periodically got to come straight back to the camera so that those people that are looking at the screen feel that they are being
right. Oh yeah.
Just
so, well, you do have a. Sorry, you're going to say you do have a whole theory on sort of the choreography of magic and how to structure a routine, not just sort of the performance and the trick, but how you are engaging with people and when to look up and when to, you know, accept the applause and all that sort of thing. So
yes, I think there's 3 aspects to the choreography of magic, and these 3 points are they pervade everything that you do. Like these 3 things cannot be ignored and are of equal importance, and one of them is where you're looking, you know, and there's 3 reasons that we look, and we look to, like, if I want to look down and pick up that wallet, I've got to look to locate, right? I look to locate something, or I might look to locate information, or I might look to locate a position point on an object. You know, we look to locate, right? Yeah. And the other 2 things are we look to locate, we look to engage, and we look to direct the audience. And they're the only 3. That's all there is to looking, nothing else. It's only that: locate, engage, and direct. And so looking, and then the other 2 are the grips and the lines. And the grips are the way that you know, the way that you hold an object, the position points on the object, and the position points on the hands. So you could analyze an effect as a sequence of grips, just that alone. And choreography could be said to be adjusting those position points to refine the grip. So that's about handling objects. And the lines, I'm not speaking about lines in terms of what you say. I'm speaking about the pathways of the hand. So, you know, if you do a French drop and you look at the actual pathways of the hands, you know, in everything that you do, manipulation, even if you're just doing mentalism and you pick up a board and you point and you know, the way you move your hands, basically, the pathways of the hand. So it's the grips, lines, and looks, and those 3 things are it, really. And everything that can be thought about, well, this is my philosophy, everything is viewed through the lens of those 3 concepts.
Nice. That's brilliant. I like the idea of the lines, because I was thinking originally you were talking about lines that we speak, but you're kind of creating your own paths in one sense when you're moving your hands in a certain direction. Great idea. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you know, you just by I don't know, just like
go full screen, Joel.
Like if I was putting an appearing coin, you know, that I'll look there and then reach and then get the coin like this and then bring it back. But just really figuring out that line and where does it go from there, you know, it comes in, like, for example, let's can't see properly. There we go. There, so it's popping it in there, and then we come up and bang here, and then there. So in that case, you know, I've got a line going here, and I've got a line going there. But I can't do the whole thing just going bing, bing, bing. You know, so I've got to come a line down here. See?
Yeah.
And you know, and a line there. and then come around and get one here. So
Yeah.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
That just
Thank
looks
you.
so good. Yeah.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
like that. I love
so,
the idea.
yeah. So in that case, I actually imagine a pentagram, like literally a 5-pointed star. And so I've got these different the lines of the so I have shapes, you know, that I picture in space that the hands follow to, you know, to actually, and to shape one's movement.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're using your entire space, you even behind you, because a lot of people would say you don't turn your back to the audience, but you'd be sort of behind you and in front, so every direction, which you do see a lot of people doing manipulation and doing the same movement over and over again, whereas
Yeah.
a simple change of direction would almost change the act completely. It's it's such a great way to think about it. It's so unique. It's really good.
Even giving the spectators like an area as well is just great, because I think if something happens over here, then something happens over there, and it's happening in different places. It it engages the spectator's eyes, like a juggler. When a juggler's juggling, you know, you're not just watching a juggler do one thing; he changes patterns and rhythms. To look at,
it's like a frame, isn't it? We're giving the audience like a visual frame. There's anchor points that we put out, and we're operating in there. Now, there are times when we want to reduce that frame and bring it in here, right? Like we want everything kind of condensed, you know. And we sort of pause and gone, and then we look up, and now by looking at them and expanding our arms, we're actually widening the frame. And I think when we widen the frame, there's a sort of people kind of relax, and when we bring the frame in like this, there's sort of like we create tension, and then pause and wait, make people wait, and then thing happens. Then we look up and expand the frame, and people relax. And I think there's a rhythm to this. I call it the rhythm of looking. Like there's just bringing it in and bringing it out, and
like almost like a camera kind of zooming in and zooming out.
Definitely, exactly that.
But I guess in one sense, your movements are controlling the people who are watching you, your spectators, to kind of be that camera lens in one sense of.
Absolutely.
That's really nice. Do you know, I was watching you on Miser's Dream then, and after you've just said it about going in different angles, when I previously performed Miser's Dreams, I'll be honest, I'm usually just going in the same place and I catch a coin. But now you've just kind of made me think, like, I've got to start thinking a little bit more about what I'm actually doing with my routine. And now I just want to get myself a bucket and some more coins. Miser's Dream routine.
I mean, to be honest, that concept with the coins is just something that I've recently I thought, I should apply the lines thing, and I pictured this shape and I went for it. But for years, you know, I was just grabbing, you know, a bit random here and there and everywhere, but actually creating a pattern to follow, it's a good thing.
And you've written all of this up, and this is in your book, right?
Yeah. Well, I had it written by my friend Paul Hyland. He's
gone. Hello again. Wow.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. There's a DVD that comes with it, and I go through 10 different effects where I elaborate on these concepts on the DVD, and also the book is half theory, half effects, and applied with applying that theory to them.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And is that? I'm guessing it is. It's on your website, marcoberon.co.uk/the shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. That's amazing.
Yeah. So when you
skin at the end of it.
I know.
Thank you.
When you
it's my favorite subject. I really enjoy thinking about movement in magic. It's really, I find it exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's lovely for me when people are interested.
When you structure the routine and you've got that pentagram in your mind, if you're doing it willy-nilly, you're having to think, oh, I'll pull it from here, I'll pull it from there. Whereas you've got it structured, so you're going to go, right, I'm going to go 1 o'clock, I'm going to go 3, then I'm going to go 5. And so so you don't have to worry about where it's coming from, because you've got that set sequence. And then
that's exactly it. And so the grips and the lines operate, you figured that out, and then you're looking, you're free to really get the looking right. For example, it'd be like you look, it's like you see the thing in space. You look, grab, catch the coin. Now you're looking at the coin. Now you're looking at the audience, and then you drop the coin, and then there's another one, and the pattern repeats. It's that sort of. It's sort of like there's there it is, and then like this, and then look at the audience, like as if to engage, to share, to experience agreement on how wonderful this moment is. And so it's a pattern of those 3 things all the time. And earlier I was saying, look to locate, engage, and direct. You see, when you look at that, there's a coin. I've located the coin. I mean, it's not really there, but I locate, catch, like that. So I would it'd be interesting to hear other people apply this concept of look to locate, engage, and direct. And there's nothing else. There's no other reason that you look at anything, anywhere in a magic show. Those 3 things cover it all.
And it creates that natural misdirection as well, doesn't it? If you've got that principle in play, if you know where you're going to be looking, your whole body almost sort of right at there is going to be a coin, and it creates that natural misdirection for you without even thinking, right, I've now got to put in misdirection to make the coin appear. And
I think that's it. I think often, and I'm just as guilty of it as well, that we sort of think, this is a dodgy moment, I must misdirect them so they don't see it. So we often do things to sort of cover things up, when really we should be directing the attention the whole way through. And and sometimes we are directing away, but I think it's a subject that's misdirection, and it's not really thought about, or it's not talked about too much. It's not. We sort of generally it tends to be, we need a bit of misdirection here, so I'll do this. I'll slam something on the table or something, so everybody looks at it,
Scare everybody witless.
Yeah.
Do you find you use a lot of looking when you're making objects appear? You were talking about looking in a certain area and reaching forwards and grabbing something to make something appear. Do you primarily apply that to making things appear then?
It applies to every single thing. Making things appear, change color, levitate, mind reading, mentalism, color changing handkerchiefs, just linking rings. The look, it's everything.
Okay.
Every single piece of magic.
Okay. It's something I've genuinely never really thought too much about. I've thought before I go on stage about getting people's attention by looking in places, but I really like the way that you put in theatre into looking. It's something I've never actually looked at. So I'll definitely be picking up your book.
And I'm just in my brain now, in my mind, I'm just going through now all the people I've watched in the past, and they've been engaging the audience and talking, and when the misdirection, when the dirty move's about to happen, they go like this and they look over here, because that's the natural, they want that misdirection. Whereas if you're doing it all the time, so that it's here and you're talking here, and then it doesn't look out of place when you do need that misdirection, and you do point over here, or you do gesture over there.
I think if you're face to face with a person having a conversation, you look at them in the eye, but then you also look away. So there's a rhythm to sort of looking and then not looking, and looking at them and then not looking at them. There's a path, there's a rhythm to it, and I know sometimes, like when I would be working doing tables, I'd be, I've got a really good rhythm of looking at this person, looking at that person, looking at my hands, and it's like this. And then like maybe I can't find something in my pocket, and I'm like, and all of a sudden now for 15 seconds I've not looked at anybody, and you've lost the whole rhythm. All the momentum and the energy is just gone because the rhythm of looking is,
Yeah, absolutely. And looking, of course, engages people as well. It's like,
yeah,
you know, people want to know, especially if you're the main focus on the stage, people are going to be looking at you. So you've got the ability to kind of guide people's vision, you know.
yeah,
And have them looking. Yeah, we've got a question that's come in. This is from Dean James. It's quite a long one. I'm going to try and read it.
Oh, great.
Winning so many trophies as a world-class magician, especially trophies like the International Brotherhood of Magicians, is something to be proud of and something I would only dream of. Does there come a point where you say, I don't need to prove myself anymore, or is it still a big part of being a magician to win these competitions and carry on to compete and smash the other magicians to pieces?
Right. Okay. Well, I think people enter competitions for different reasons. I never entered a competition to smash anybody to pieces. I'm not saying I'm a nice guy. I do have dark thoughts. I do. But I don't enter competitions to smash anyone to pieces. In fact, the only reason I entered competitions was to improve myself as a magician. No other reason. Genuinely, no other reason. Because the pressure of, it's frightening. It's nerve-wracking. It puts you under pressure. It really is scary. It's just not comfortable at all, entering competitions. So it motivates you to work that extra, that bit harder. I remember actually asking, because I was talking to this friend of my son's, and his father, my son's friend's father, and he's very like, I'm a very competitive person. I'm very competitive. He goes, you're competitive. I said, I'm not competitive. And he says, why do you enter all these competitions? You enter it to win, to smash the other person. I never did. No, honestly, I'm not. I don't. In fact, and the reason that, because I thought, well, am I? Is that what I'm about? Is that what I'm? And perhaps maybe there are times when I've gone into wild, not very healthy thinking about it. But when I ask myself the question, what would I prefer if I entered a competition, and let's say I won the competition, but my act had not improved from the previous year. So I'd won another competition, big competition, whatever, but my show was just exactly the same. Now compare that to another situation when if I went into another competition and I didn't win, but I knew that the work that I put in to enter that competition had made me 30% better. Which would I prefer? Yeah. I'd prefer to not win and take the improvement on what I've got. I just want to be better than I am. It's not about being better than others.
Yeah.
And also, competitions don't really interest me anymore now. It's just I've got it all out of my system. I'm
cool.
Interested in other things now.
Yeah. Dean James said, "So you're human," and I thought you were a god, Mark. Okay, so Andy asked earlier on what your most memorable competition was.
Yes.
Are there any competitions that you remember for the wrong reasons?
I'm sure there are, in fact, people often ask me, what's the worst thing that's ever happened when you've been on stage and things like that. And I probably, I sort of think I should have a few little stories and, and put them together. But I think when terrible things happen, I just sort of block them out of my mind and I forget about them. So nothing really springs to mind. I've had bad stuff happen, but I choose not to remember it.
You block it out. It's best way. I do the same.
But that's great because I often do the opposite thing. Like I'll remember the negative things that happened, and it'll often put me off performing a certain routine or the way I do a certain thing, and it would change it. So rather than blocking, I've always kind of remembered it. And then driven home thinking, what a terrible night that was.
Well, those things happen to everybody, I think. And sometimes you start thinking negative things. You just can't, it's rolling around all day long. I mean, I can really sympathize with people with mental health problems. I think we're all like just that far off the. We're so fragile, you know. It's yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Go on, Andy. Did you have a
So,
question?
yeah, I was going to say, you said, you know, competitions are nerve-wracking and you performed on some of the biggest stages in the world. Is there a certain thing you can do to manage your nerves? Is there something you do? Because obviously everybody gets nervous. So, I mean, if we can get tips on that from you, you know, we'll all be performing a lot better in the future.
I think, I mean, well, the obvious thing is just to prepare very well.
Yeah.
You know that, and I think it's about the quality of one's preparation. And what I mean by this, when I'm practicing for a competition, this was another thing. This was something I realized, and it made a big difference to my thinking. When I practice, I actually imagine that those people are there. So I imagine I'm actually in a room. So although I'm in my living room, which is just, you know, quite small, I actually put out mental anchor points beyond the walls of the room. Okay. And I'm actually standing in a large auditorium with 2,000 people watching. So, we can all do this. It's you know, it's a skill of the imagination, to just sort of. I remember teaching somebody, and I said to him, you know, I kind of realized that he could imagine someone sitting in that chair over there, but he couldn't imagine someone sitting in a chair beyond the wall.
Right.
Right. And it's this idea that the apparent reality of the universe is so fixed that stops us from projecting our imagination beyond it and through it and out of it. So yeah, that I think that if I was to sort of put it down in it, I think I'd say when you practice, just, you know, I think sometimes people practice in front of a mirror, or they show just one or two people, or it's a very kind of the space that they practice in is small. So when they're actually in this completely different space, when they walk out on stage, it plays with your head. It freaks you out. You know, you're just not ready for it. So you're trying to do something that you've done in a small space and in a big space. So when you practice, you've got this put out mental anchor points into create a large mental space to rehearse in.
Yeah.
And I can remember when I won that American thing, I remember being in my living room and practicing, and I remember getting like so excited, like, cause I just felt like I was absolutely there. Like my heart was beating really fast at some point. It was so sort of real to me. Yeah.
So you almost practice at 100% every time, you know. So say if I'm working on a card trick, I'll sit and I'll have a cup of tea and I'll do it, and then I'll practice it stood up. And whereas you would practice it at 100%, almost full performance every single time.
Well, I think that's one of the final hat that one wears is the hat of rehearsal, where you must run through the whole thing from beginning to end with even the same shoes that you're actually going to wear on stage. You've got to put the whole suit on, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but there are different levels of practice before you get there. That, you know, you can practice a move, just a 10-second you know, piece of choreography, just figure out the grips, lines and looks, you know, of a small little moment. Yeah.
Do you find when you're practicing, do you find, because you've invested in such kind of an intense practice space in your own mind, and it feels like you're actually there, that when you go out to your live audience, it doesn't feel much different? That's
exactly it. That's it. It's got to feel that when you go out and your live audience is there, the concept of being in that space, you've practiced in that space already.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant advice. That's absolutely awesome. You know, particularly for things that are choreographed and you know, pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost imagining, you said you had like the pentagram. So I was imagining just the pentagram around me, whereas if I imagined the corners of the pentagram reaching out to the corners of the room and then past the room to the tree that's outside, and almost seeing those, that would give you the sort of level of where you need to be looking and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, just I'll be changing everything I do after tonight. I'm like, right, I'm knocking that wall out. We're good. I want to see the tree. We're fine.
So is this in your book as well, Mark?
Sorry?
Is this in your book, The Philosophy of Practice?
Yeah.
Okay,
These things. There's these things and more.
Yeah.
I can. Would you like me to? Shall I perform a linking ring routine for you?
Wow, I'd love that. Yeah.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'll do it for you and just.
Okay. Do you want me to put you on a full screen now?
Yeah, go for it.
You look great,
You
Mark.
look fabulous.
I really need a haircut.
Oh, we're all the same. We're all the same. Lockdown haircuts.
Yeah.
I might change to a barber.
Is that a good spot? Like.
I would move back a little bit.
Like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's
Yeah.
Right. I'll just put some music on.
wow.
Just.
Oh my life.
But watching that after we've just talked about your lines, your grips, and your looks and everything else, just gives you such a bigger appreciation of, you know, every single thing is designed for a reason. Oh, just.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mark, that was amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
Mark,
thank
we're getting lots of love in the comments. Elegant, smooth as silk, brilliant. People are just loving it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That was so good. I kind of like, I feel like I've just tripped out a little bit as well, in the sense that I'm now just thinking, were you always using 3 rings? Were you using 2? Was it now 3? Like, I don't even know what I've just seen. That was so good.
Yeah. Wow. In the beginning, like in the first bit, you know, I'm looking at the audience like this. This was a Richard Ross style routine, and it was taught to me by David Charles when I was a teenager. Right. And he taught me this. You know, you look at the audience in the beginning, and it's quite, you know, it's quite a while before the magic happens. You're looking at them through here. Now, you're looking to engage with them. Now, when the magic starts, and we come here, now I'm not looking at them. Now I'm engaged in the magic myself. And at this point, I used to look at the audience, and get applause for every link and every unlink. But I've stopped doing that now. Now, when this links, I don't look at the audience. And I carry on like this. I might look at one person in the front row and I do this, but I'm not asking for applause. And the thinking here is that I don't look at the audience again until the end. So I've given them lots and lots of eye contact in the beginning, and we're engaged, we're connected, they're with me. And now I'm doing these things, but I'm not looking at them. So they have no opportunity to applaud, but they want to. And because I'm not letting them. So right at the end, when you come up with the 3, you get more applause. I realize that. So it's this whole thing of figuring out when to look and not to look.
Yeah. Brilliant. I guess. Sorry. No, I was going to say it almost kind of takes me back to the Pentagon idea of things just happening and your mind's kind of buzzing. You know, as you're watching it, you're seeing so much going on. And
yeah, I mean, people say sometimes magician. In fact, for years I thought, oh, the linking rings. Everybody knows how it's done. I've been on a ship where a really intelligent person has come up to me, like a wealthy, like professional, and he has just really thought that there is something, you know, mystical about metal going through metal. You know, it was like some alchemical sort of secret going on here. He was no fool. He was a really smart guy. So I think that people, we often, you know, we disregard these simple things. But here's the thing. On that final moment, when it comes to the 3, I used to be like that.
Okay.
Right. But now I've changed it. Now I come up to bang there, and then this hand comes a point, and this open body language is so much nicer than this. And you know, it's just one of those things that I realize.
Yeah, it's a little bit more human as well. You kind of say, I'm the person who did it, and I'm not this showman.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. It's like, and now this is me. Yeah, rather than these are my rings.
There's no barrier between you and the audience. There's a barrier there when you're holding it up. There's the rings and then the audience. Whereas if you like this, then it is.
It's me, a person who's just done this for you. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And all those applause cues that you said you've taken out, because they're always ready to go. Oh, I should be clapping. I should. Oh, and then at the end they're like, oh, now I can clap, and that's, you know. Just.
Well, I figured this out because this friend of mine called Naki Ataman, who's a concert pianist that I've worked with on the ships a few times. He comes on stage and he bows to the audience. Then he turns his back to the audience and he plays for an hour and he never looks at the audience.
Right.
And you think, well, that's not. The music doesn't, there's no gaps, if you like. It blends one thing into another. And then he stands up, and when he stood up like that, I just leapt out my seat. It was not a polite standing ovation. It was I actually just felt like I just had to leap up, and you know, and so did everybody else. And I thought, wow, you know, it's just because we've not been allowed to sort of express it. We think it's wonderful, but we can't tell him. So we've got this continual, like, it's like it's like there's an interchange of energy in a performance, and if you kind of hold it back, it's just, well, then when you let it go, it's
a brilliant idea. It's like, let them clap, but let them clap at the end, rather than, you know, rather than being a magician or performer who's begging for applause throughout your show. You're demonstrating your craft and skill.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us really hate it when you see a performer do something and they're, you know, they're just sort of trying to, I think they think, train the audience to applaud.
Absolutely,
It's just, and you just sit there in the audience and you clap, but you know that you're just doing it because you don't want to seem like you're miserable. And
the audience are thinking, oh, my wrists are so sore. You've had me do this a million times.
Yeah. I mean, watching the act just then, you acknowledged everybody, and then you almost went into your own, and we observed you. You know, it was a personal moment, and you were in the moment with the rings. And then at the end, you went, oh, you're there. Oh, you can clap if you want. And it was just watching that and watching the way that you, and like I said, after talking to you about the lines and where you're looking, and then watching that, you just go, oh, that's why you're looking there, and that's why you're holding, and then yeah, unbelievable, Mark, amazing.
Thank you.
We've had lots and lots and lots of love for that. Rodney James Piper, Mark's an amazing magician, and he said, ask him about the IBM SAMs.
Yeah, that was the one I was telling you about. That was my favorite moment. And Rodney, he actually, what was the deal? Rodney did, now what was it? He did some really interesting little deal with me that he won, actually. But he bet me $1,000. Like, but what it was, if I won the $10,000, because I really didn't think I'd win, I had to give him 1,000, and then and I, you know, and I won, and I had to give him 1,000.
Like Rodney.
Yeah.
But what did he have to give you if you lost?
Yeah, well, it was something like I owed him about £300 for a plane ticket or something like this. I owed him that, and he said that if you don't win, forget about the plane ticket. That was it. But if you do win, give me £1,000.
Excellent.
It was quite a clever bet, actually, because I couldn't really. Whatever happened, I was going to be happy. Like, that is. Rodney's he was a super smart businessman. Like,
oh, he is. So did you give him $1,000, or do you still owe him it?
No, I gave it him. Yeah, he got it. He filmed it. He put it all over social media. Actually, he's got it in a fan. It's there on Facebook somewhere. I think it's yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh my word. We have had as well.
Yeah, Paul Valentine saying, I love the idea of building up of the energy so that the final applause is greater. Yeah, I think ultimately Paul's kind of hit the nail on the head there. It's kind of you're marching through your performance in a nice kind of pace, and then at the end you're kind of saying, now you can clap, you know. And I think it sets it apart as well as a piece, rather than, you know, I mean, when I was watching that, I kind of saw you more, and I kind of hate this word with magic, but more of an artist rather than a magician or an entertainer. It looked like a performance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think magic is an art, isn't it? We are artists for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, are you gonna? I was gonna say we've had a question from Bertrand.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
What thought process did you go through to come up with the amazing master deck?
Well, yes, I saw Leonard Green do something where he said, somebody name a card, and they said 7 of hearts, and he said, oh, well, first is to find the 7 of hearts, and I just thought, that's the best card trick I've ever seen in my life. Like it was just literally that moment, and so from there I went into playing around with memorized decks, and then just figuring out corner shorts, like, you know, to locate without needing to look.
Okay.
I think often, with most memorized deck work when people are locating a named card, they're kind of estimating, doing a pass or a cut, and then check and then correct or you know. But I wanted to be able to do it without looking, so that's about as much of the process that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
Super. Have you got any more questions? I'm just having a look if we've got any more.
Yeah, I have. So, Mark, one thing that I was wondering is, if you had a magician who's inspired you the most, or thereabouts, who would you say that is?
I don't. There's so many, actually. I mean, I remember. I do remember when I was in my early 20s, just absolutely loving Jeff McBride, like, and I still love him now. I think he's a wonderful performer, but just I've never wanted to put somebody on a pedestal. And I'm not so sure it's healthy actually to just say, oh, this person, you know. I think I'm more like to think that I can learn from every single magician, like whatever level they are. They could be on, you know, just but I do remember seeing Jeff McBride on the Paul Daniels show doing his act with the masks, and just feeling like goosebumps going through me, and just thinking, this is incredible. And just hearing his sort of philosophy, and I just thought, this is a guy that he is not looking at. He's not looking at the magic scene and trying to become part of it. He's asking a deeper question of what does it mean to be a magician? What does that actually mean? You know, and creating a unique perspective and view and idea about what it is to be a magician. So that sort of real original kind of
you find that though, when somebody is not on the same sort of plane of existence as everybody else, that's when they create something so different, so unique, that it sort of breaks the mold of what magic should be or whatever the interest is. So,
and I suppose, you know, I mean, but I think Jeff's also got like a lot of respect for the classics, and and that sort of thing as well. So I think it's more, it's more to do with this sort of his character, really, as a magician. But I don't really go in for the hero worship thing generally, but I am really pleased to be friends with Jeff, and I was at his house about 18 months ago, and that was just fantastic. It's a proper wizard's house. There's like a bookshelf, and there was this pyramid with abracadabra, and he told me to go up to this pyramid and say these magic words, and then the bookcase slid open, and then you go into this room that is full, and I mean absolutely full of magic books of every type of magic, manipulation, mentalism, theory of magic, and also books on occult magic and witchcraft, and the whole, it's all there. It's a proper wizard.
Absolutely.
Wow. You can almost see him living as a wizard, sort of. He wears the robes, and he's got the hair, and just the persona. I'm trying to think how long ago it was. When we're at Blackpool at the convention, sometimes we get hired to go and perform around Blackpool. I think you and I have done a couple together over the years.
Oh yes.
And one year I was booked to perform to one of the restaurants, and I went over to a table to go and do close-up magic, and there was Eugene Berger. There was there was about 4 of them all sat there, and I went, do
you want a drink?
I bet they really enjoyed it though, didn't they? I bet they were really
supportive. They made me so welcome. And I mean, I'd only been performing for about 5 or 6 years, so I was still relatively new, and they just made me real welcome. They said, "Oh, that was amazing," and then they said at the end, he went, "Can I give you some advice?" I went, "Of course." And he said, "Right, grab a seat." And he sat down and he said, "Right, try this or do this." And it was just amazing. It was so, and I was getting paid for it. It was fab.
Yeah, those are the things that make you a better magician, aren't they? Just those moments.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. Really.
Sounds horrendously scary as well to begin with. That must have been so daunting.
My heart, as I was going over to the table, I'm like, "Oh,
you look."
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Andy, did I do 3? Somebody's just said in the questions, did I do the 21 card trick? No. I thought about it. That was all my hand could muster. It was like this going over. It was awful. But it shows how amazing they are. Within 2 minutes, I was at ease, and it was fab. It was so good. But anyway, so Mark, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I can. I've got a ton of stuff. I'm happy to do.
Well,
as
I'm
much as you like.
sure us and everybody watching would be greatly appreciate. Anything you could show us would be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I can. Well, let's have a look. They're examinable at this point.
What?
So yeah, that's just a little quick. That's clean connection, a little trick that I've got. I'll just show you a few quick little tricks.
Okay, right.
Is,
Are these your visual? Are these your visual tricks?
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yeah, this is in the. I've got a visual package, so it's just. Yeah.
Wow.
That's one. Let's have a look. What else have we got? So, you know, sometimes there's a trick you need a handkerchief for, and it's just quite a nice little way of producing it. And then also you might need to just get rid of it. Go on. It's using the classic hank ball. And it's just a couple of moves that make it handle rather well.
That's amazing.
So, got this picture here, and then just come up and reach and grab here. So
yeah.
And then the vanish, I'm quite proud of this. This goes in here like this. And the finger goes the other side of the ball, and the thumb pulls. The cord is elastic. Pulls the cord, right? To there. That's a little bit hard to. Here we go. How am I going to show you that? Here we go. There. Yeah, with the elastic, I can pull the ball away. This finger pushes on the bottom of the ball. Go there like this.
Wow, that is so good. I think what we need to say is explain why I said is this the visual magic. You've spent some time and you put some bundles together, right?
Yeah.
And these are little bundle buys that are exclusive basically to people who are watching the Magic Jam. That was, well, three tricks were from the bundle deal.
That's right. Yeah.
Now that hank ball gimmick, I've never seen that gimmick. Have you seen that, Andy? Are you familiar with that?
It's a very old idea, the hank ball, but I think often people disregard it because they think it's to be used like this. So they think, oh, it's very angly. But it's Dwayne Laughlin has some good work on it, and he takes off the cord and he uses it without the cord. But again, I think the cord is what makes it really, because you have that nice hand position here.
Yeah, you look very free and fair.
Yeah, and you can you can do like a changeover palm quite easily. Just there. You've got this there, bang, and then you just. So I've got two sizes of this. I've got the large and the small. Also, this is flat on the back, so when it sits against the palm, it sits exactly in the right spot. It doesn't move around.
That's brilliant.
In my routine on stage, that moment when I do the vanish, I've got a sound effect because it's at the end of a piece of music. So it goes, and it gets applause at that moment.
Excellent. That's so nice.
Yeah, so I've got that's three in the visual package. I'll quickly show you all the things. There's two more things in the visual package. Then, yeah.
All right. Okay.
I actually, I wasn't sure about doing all this sort of Zoom magic, all this. Actually, this is great fun. I really like it.
Everybody's loving it, Mark. Everybody's amazed. I think they want to watch Joel's face as you're performing, because we heard him visually go. We heard him go, wow.
So I mean, this is like a ring and a chord, and there's 2 original moves, but most of it's not original. But I'll do the routine. I say, no, look, this is an illusion with a chord and a ring. You see, the illusion is that the ribbon passes through the ring. Doesn't that look like it's going through?
That is true.
Yeah, it looks like it's through. It feels like it's through. But the truth is, it isn't.
Wow.
I'll show you that again. It looks like it's through. It feels like it's through. And at this point, I get a spectator to cup their hands like this. I say, although it looks like it's through and it feels like it's through, again, it's just an illusion. Yeah, and then from there, I finish it off with one display. Get this out of the way. So we pop it through like this, and again, like before, looks like it's through, feels like it's through. It isn't. Or is it? So yeah, this is something I call Ring Fling 2, and it uses a Jardine Ellis ring. The last 2 moves they're my own. The others are a combination of old stuff that haven't used with fingering, and the one where it drops into the spectator's hands is a Mark Leverage move, which is beautiful.
I've seen that move. It just looks incredible.
Yeah,
so nice.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I really.
The ultimate there was the ending where you threw that back on. That just looked.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's the whole. I think it's a good finish to it. That's
proud of.
Very good.
It's so good.
I call it Ring Fling 2.0. I mean, I used to do this with a bit of a rope and what have you, but now I've developed a routine around it and improved the handling somewhat. And there's like as well as the prop, you get the ribbon and the ring and the gimmick, but there's also a link in there. So there's a bit more.
Wow.
We've just had somebody put in saying you're the new Messiah. They're watching you perform. We could start a religion, Mark. We could start a religion.
Yeah.
He's already started one, Andy. Don't try and join in.
Yeah, well, I do think religion is some kind of magical thing. And Eugene Burgett talked about that. That really kind of made me think. I think magic and religion. There's. I think that the priests and the witch doctors of the past, the people that, they were magicians, and
absolutely, yeah.
In fact, I'm really fascinated with religious cults, and I think really charismatic leaders and group mind control and this kind of thing.
Oh yeah. It's magic without the visual or any kind of visual manipulation or of any sort. Or maybe there is even. Yeah, actually, no. Maybe I'm wrong.
Sometimes I think they do. Yeah. They do actually. I remember once. I was actually. I was looking on a website of a satanic organization.
Okay.
And I was reading the leader's recommended reading list. The books that he thinks you should read.
Yeah.
And I was most amused to see Corinda's 13 Steps in there.
Well, I can remember when I was a kid, and my mum used to send me to Sunday school, basically to get rid of me for a couple of hours on a Sunday. And I can remember this guy, I don't know if he was a vicar or if he was just basically somebody who was looking after us, talking about Jesus. And basically, he performed so many magic tricks that I can remember. I remember him turning water into orange juice, and he was using a chemical. And I can remember him doing flames instead of a wallet from a Bible, right? And we were all children who were watching this, and so many of my friends were just really thinking that this is real, this is it, and it was one of those, and that was the reason why I said, well, actually, maybe it does actually have some visual manipulation, because me and my friends were manipulated when we were children to believe that was, the real thing. So
Yeah.
Do you think Jesus was the original close-up worker then? Do you think he was the first ever table hopper?
available for cocktail parties.
I don't know. I was having a conversation with Dynamo about this, and he actually said that he believes Jesus was a magician.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, well, it does go back. They say that one of the first sort of depictions is in the pyramids of somebody doing cups and balls.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's over 2,000. Is it 2,000 years ago? Are we talking something like that?
Yeah. No idea.
So
Yeah.
Crikey.
Mark, you were going to show us another one.
I'll show you another one. Yeah, this is. Can you make it so I can see? That's it. Like, yeah. So it will come here and then. Oh no, there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you,
Mark. Oh, and all those that you've just shown us are in the visual pack, the bundle that you put together for us.
Right, hang on a minute. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6 pieces of magic?
It's 5. 5.
5.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the linking cards.
Yep.
Clean connection. The note change blank.
Yep.
It's the hank ball.
Yeah.
It's the ring fling. You know, with the ring and the cord, and it's the coins. Yeah, that's the visual package.
Brilliant. Okay, let me get this up. All right, so people can see this. Basically, what you've just seen there are 5 routines. You've got clean cash, clean connection, hank ball, ring fling, and the 3 fly. And you're going to be doing that for £50.
Yeah, it's under half price. Yeah.
And how many? Out of interest, how many of these have you got?
Well, I've got about 7 or 8. Because some of the things I haven't got all of them. So I've got these bundles. If anybody wants them, that's great. But if you come later and 1 or 2 of the items isn't there, you know, I'll try and figure out a way of making it fair in some way.
Yeah.
Some of them will run
I'm
out.
not just saying this, but I'll take one of the bundles if that's all right.
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent. I love the hank ball. I love it all. I love that little hank ball because the way you've routined it looks amazing, and I think there's scope as well to be doing, you know, more with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really just I think it's one of those things where if you use a handkerchief, you know, maybe the thing with the glass, you know, with the card, and you know, there's so many tricks where you need a handkerchief, and it may as well make it appear.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, somebody said that they thought you somehow slipped it out of a thumb tip. And I kind of thought the same thing. Like, how have you pulled that off? You know?
Yeah, it's like that's a handkerchief that'll fit inside a thumb tip.
Yeah, look at that.
Because I sell these on the ships to, you know.
Right.
But the size of it, it's just enormous.
Yeah. It looks so visual. Visual. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so if anybody wants it,
sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, if anybody wants to buy this, you can get clean cash, clean connection, which is the linking cards, the hank ball, ring fling, the 3 fly, and it's all £50. And all you've basically got to do, if you want to pick this up and take advantage of this, just go on your PayPal, send £50 to Marc Oberon 1@googlemail.com. It's simple as that.
In the notes when you do that, because Mark's been really good and he's put a few things together for us. If you just put visual bundle in the notes, and then he knows which one it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. And also, if anybody wants anything individually from my website, there's 20% off if you put in the code workers20. So I'll just take 20% straight off.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, shall I do? I don't want to be too trying to sell stuff all the time.
Oh, no.
No,
Listen,
I'll just do it. I'll perform something else for you, just as a performance.
Just before you start, Mark, somebody's just put, it's Andrew Burtwell has just put, thank you for reminding us what real magic looks like. More importantly, feels like. So that tells you everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, actually, I'll do a quick. I've got a prediction written on the other side of the board. So, Andy.
Yeah.
Could you just think about one of these names? Don't tell me just yet. Just.
All right. Okay. Just think of one.
Yeah. Don't tell me just yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There's a prediction on the other side of the board, and what I want you to do is to imagine that sitting on your lap are three animals. There's a rabbit, a dog, and a cat.
Okay.
Yeah? And one of them steps down onto the carpet. Which one is it?
The cat.
The cat. Okay. So the name you chose here will be the name for your cat. What name? What name did you choose, Andy?
Tom.
Tom. Okay. Now Tom's got three different coloured collars. He's got a red collar, he's got a yellow collar, and he's got a blue collar. What colour collar is Tom wearing today?
Blue.
Blue.
Yep.
So we have a cat called Tom with a blue collar.
Yep.
You didn't know I was going to do this, did you?
No.
People might think we've set this up. You can swear
Genuinely,
for sure.
First time I've ever seen the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
I nearly swore.
Yeah. I'm going to explain. Now, as it happens, everything there went perfectly. So I was aiming, there were certain psychological forces and everything worked perfectly. I didn't actually have to do anything, but I had every other option covered, right? Because I can pull down a name from here, right? It can be Max or Min. I've got every other name. I've got names up here, got them down here. And you just oops, and they come out like that.
Oh my word.
And then this comes off and turns around like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a strong stand-up.
Very strong effect. Oh my word. That is just.
Do you sell that?
I don't sell it. If I can figure out a way of producing them cheaply, it's just a lot of work, a lot of effort to. I can't figure out how to produce them cheap enough to make it a viable prop.
Yeah, absolutely. That's brilliant.
That is unbelievable. That is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll explain the force. Obviously, when use of the word, one of the animals steps down.
Yes.
Probably 70% of the time, people say cat, right?
Yeah.
But the other two options are still strong. So let's say one of them steps down. So I'll say we'll just go through the other two options.
Okay. So the dog steps down.
The dog steps down. So you have a dog, you have a cat and a rabbit sitting on your lap.
Yeah.
Right? Mentally, send one to me, either the rabbit or the cat.
Okay.
So I should say send one to the board. Did you send me? Did you send me the rabbit?
I did. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You chose to keep the cat sitting on your lap, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you know that. And what's interesting here, when I do this for lay people, and it goes that way. This is my favourite situation, because when their first two choices are not the cat, invariably they don't like cats. Right.
Yeah.
So when I go, oh, you chose to keep the cat sitting on your lap, but I think that you don't own a cat, and they go, no, in fact, I don't even think you like cats, right? It's kind of it's very, very strong, because it's like, well, how does he know all this? But Andy's got it right. So And then you say, despite not liking cats, not owning a cat, you chose to keep a cat sitting on your lap, which is strange. And then what's the name that you chose for it? And then we go like that. The other way is like, let's say it's the cat and the rabbit, and I say, send one to the board, send one to the board here. Did you send me the rabbit? No, you sent me the cat. Okay, we'll use the cat. What name did you choose? You get the idea.
It feels really fair. It does. And because you use the word it steps down, the rabbit would hop. So it automatically it doesn't enter in your head. So yeah, it's so yeah, amazing. Look at Joel's face.
I love that. I love it.
You've fried his brain.
That's fantastic. Wow. Should we look at your other bundles?
Yeah, we can. Can I just do a trick for you though? Let me just.
Of course.
Do you want a solo screen?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Wow. That's so good.
Thank you. That's one of my openers.
Did you do that in close-up?
A bit iffy, but it's interesting. In the beginning, you know, we were talking about engaging with the audience. Like, I've actually, I use like a figure 8, and a figure 8 on its side like this is the symbol for infinity. So it has a sort of kind of mystical association to it. And when I'm engaging and connecting with the audience in the beginning, I'm displaying this along this figure of 8, and I'm looking at the audience, and the same thing applies now. Bang! Now I don't really look at them. Now I'm back in my own world, like with the rings.
Okay.
Oops. This is interesting. When I go back down to 1, at this point they kind of think that's the end of it. And I used to bring my hand up here and then come up and then go bang into 5. But it took me a long time to be able to take my hand away and have this open body language here. And then as I come here, now when I hit them with the 5, it's a real shock. Back down to 1 and then 5 of them. But yeah, it's just it's the same thing with the rings, like this blocking them. You know, I was blocking by having my hands. There was a moment that I realized I need to take my hand away, but I didn't dare take my hand away because I was afraid I would not be able to locate the correct grip position again. You see, so like that. But that I figured in the flow of the lines when to look to locate the point that my thumb has to connect. So you know, the choreography was literally about that, just analyzing the way the grips, lines, and the looks are, the way they all fit together. It's never, in my view, it's never about anything else. Like, I make it, it's all pervasive. I mean, it's hard to kind of take a concept and just, you know, to view everything through that concept. It doesn't, you know, it's not going to happen. Even now, even with me doing it all these years, I don't automatically do it. But when I sort of think, all right, I'm going to really just work on this and get this right, that's what I do. I apply that thinking.
So, and because you've got that thinking as almost like a compound,
Yeah.
When you first go out performing it, you know, let's say it's a new routine you have to go out with. You've applied your thinking to it, so you can be confident in it pretty swiftly. With, you know.
Yeah, I think that's right, and the confidence means that when you do the looking, it's all of your energy, you know, is present in your looking, because you've got no attention on thinking about how you're holding something, or am I going to move it here or move it there. These things have already been they've been kind of plotted and drilled, and they're established within you, so now you're free to connect.
Brilliant.
Emotionally. Yeah.
Wow. And that looked amazing. I've never seen a multiplying ball like that before. That was, you know, I'm used to multiplying balls in the hands, but that I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's there was a guy called Glavitsky who I didn't get this from him, but I've since heard he did something similar at FISM many years ago.
Yeah.
But I bought this about 15 years ago in China.
Right.
Maybe 12, 13 years ago. With no instructions, and just the prop, and just it's one of those things that just fascinated by it, and so that's the opener of my second show on the cruise ships.
Okay, brilliant. It's got something about it where you kind of instantly engaging your spectators, because so much is going on in a short amount of time. It's again, like I was talking about juggling earlier on. By watching these balls appear, you're just watching as a spectator, waiting for that next thing to happen.
Yeah, and you're pulling them into this narrow frame, and then now you've got two, and it's because you're showing both sides, so you're showing all sides of two balls, and then back down to one, and then back to two, and then to three, and you're showing all sides of all three. So then when it goes back down to one, they think that that's it, and then bang, you're up to five. You can't see all sides of all five balls. But no one, they won't even arrive at that thought, because it's been proved that you can see all sides of the three.
Yeah.
Wow. And the music to the choreography, at one point you put them all together and you hear a ching in the music.
Yeah, was that the balls or was that the music?
No, I have things like that put on. I'm no good with computers, but my son's really good at like just, you know, I say I want a ting here, like at that point, or you know, and well, he does a lot more than that. Like, but it's it's. I think anybody
just sold the effects so much, because they look like a solid. Even when you're carrying them, you've got like a weight to them. You know, when your hands moving, there's almost like it's a struggle to just keep a hold of it. And just that ching in the middle, it almost goes, oh, it's almost like you've just smashed them both together. Just
thank you.
You're kind of giving them a bit of a real magical presence. It's all adding to it, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
Going back to practicing, we've had a question from Jimmy Willis. Mark, when you practice, do you practice in front of a mirror, or do you record yourself, or do you do both? Because you've talked about performing not just to your room but outside the room. But do you record it, or do you watch it in a?
I do a little bit, not much. I think I probably. I work well with a mirror, but when I watch myself on film, I'm very self-critical, and I don't like watching myself perform. Actually, I find it uncomfortable, and so I find it difficult to be focused and to think clearly about what I'm seeing. I start thinking, oh, you know, look a bit fat in that shirt, or you know, I don't like my hair, or you know, or I don't like the way I sounded when I said that. You know, I've just got this bullshit going on. So, but with a mirror, because the feedback is immediate, you can adjust. And so we have the grips, lines, and the looks. You can figure out the grips and the lines with a mirror. You can't figure out the looking. And so the first, and although you're constantly working on all three, the grips are your foundation, and the lines come next, and then the looking is the final point. So you have to kind of I use the mirror for the grips and lines, but then I'll sort of turn away from the mirror and you know, and just imagine there's an audience there, and then I might come back to the mirror to adjust something, and then I go. So it's a dance between the
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that I mean, mirrors are great, but you have to the early stage. You keep using a mirror, but you can get mirror dependent, and I think that happens with magicians. Again, like I was saying, you practice in a small room, and your mental anchor points are constrained. Get into a big room, you're all lost all over the place. Whereas a similar thing can happen with a mirror. You practice everything with a mirror, you get out there, there's no mirror, and yeah. So
yeah. So keep it organic in practice.
yeah, just use the mirror, but don't depend on the mirror. You have to be certainly. Yeah, certainly, but you know, when you're rehearsing, you don't use a mirror when you rehearse. You go straight the way through. That's got to be full-blown imagined audience.
Yeah,
maybe with real people sitting there. Yeah,
I've often found when I'm practicing in an evening at night when it's dark, if you've got quite a big window, I've often found it's quite nice to use your reflection.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah,
because you can also see beyond it, and when you want to focus on what you're doing, you can look at your reflection and then ignore your reflection and go back into your practice.
Yeah. And I bet you do this too. Walking along the street, practicing a koimu, and you use the reflection of a car window to.
Yeah.
You can't stand there to a shop window. You can't stand there too long because it looks odd. It looks like you're up to something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or don't use your neighbour's window.
No.
Oh man, that's amazing advice.
It is.
Can we talk about another bundle? Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna, if you want to get that ready, I'm gonna talk to people about the bundle first, if you like, and you can get yourself ready. But this is the should we look at the playing card bundle? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So this is the playing card bundle, people. There are 3 effects in here in total. You've got the details up on the screen. So there you go. This is the playing card bundle.
Yeah, we did talk about the master deck earlier. One of the questions was about the master deck and how the thought process was coming around it. But I mean, I've been fortunate enough to see Mark perform the master deck, and miracle springs to mind. So can't wait to see it.
Well,
yeah.
Joel, tell me any card, please. Name any card.
5 of clubs.
5 of clubs. In a moment, I'll ask Joel for a number. Okay. Then I'll count down from the top to the number that Joel gives me.
Okay.
The 5 of clubs is going to be exactly at that position.
Right.
What would it be, Joel?
12.
12. Right.
12.
5 of clubs, number 12. Please watch my hands very carefully as I count exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 12th card, 5 of clubs.
Do you need to lie down for help?
That's brilliant.
Tell me Andy, tell me any card, please. Any card.
Let's go for the 9 of hearts.
The 9 of hearts, right? Okay. Yep. What I'm going to do, Andy, is I'm going to let the cards fall from my hands one at a time, like this. When you call stop, I'll stop.
Okay. Stop.
Joel, would you...
I'm rethinking my career choice.
Yeah. So that's just a couple of effects with the master deck. I tend to use the master deck. I mean, I do like about 8 or 9 different effects with it. But then I've also got...
Could you show me another one?
Yeah.
Right, come on. It's just so good.
Well, actually, one of the things I do is a classic force. Just trying to think what, and also another thing I use with a fire, but I'm got a lighter.
Okay, all right.
But let me think what actually. Yeah, just tell me any card.
Okay. Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. Right. Okay. what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find the Queen of Spades by causing her to rise majestically from wherever she may be in the deck.
Mark. Mark. Oh, that is incredible.
There's a playing card in my wallet, in my back pocket. Andy, name any card, please.
Let's go for the Jack of Clubs.
Jack of Clubs. This is unbelievable. Look, I don't have 52 pockets or 52 wallets. Just one wallet with one envelope, one card in the envelope. It happens to be Andy's Jack of Clubs. That's bang on.
That was bang on.
Bang on.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, I've got the master deck in the bundle. Bang on is in the bundle, and then I've got another, I think, a card deck where I need 3 people. Is your lady around?
Yeah, Claire.
Claire.
Let me get this
Yeah,
right.
just coming in.
Now, oh, hello, Claire.
Hi.
Hi, Claire.
Hi. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread these cards for each of you to remember a card.
Okay.
It can be any card that you see. Don't choose this one. It's on the face. It's too obvious.
Okay.
It's also important that you don't just imagine a card. It has to be that you remember one of the cards that you see when I spread them and show you. So make sure to remember the correct suit. Sometimes people mistake a club for a spade and so on.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I normally do this for people, so in real life. So I'm not. It's a bit weird for me doing it with a camera, but it should still work.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you all have one?
No, move them down a little bit.
So.
Oh.
Sorry. Do them again.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you: are you all 100% certain of the card, the suit, the value? It's yeah. Great. Okay, so I'm going to try and guess all of your cards. Right?
Okay.
So
come on.
I need one clue, and the clue that I need is that I'm actually going to show you the cards again, one at a time.
Okay.
I'd like all 3 of you to watch every card, and I'll be watching your eyes. So when you see your card, just keep a straight face. There we go. Did anybody see their card so far?
Yeah.
No.
Claire?
I
No.
did.
Got
Yeah.
just John.
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's all right. I was about a third of the way through.
Okay.
So let's just did Claire or Andy, did you see your card?
We did.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw mine. Yeah.
Okay. There's a chance you might have both gone for the same card. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Joel, I think this was your card.
Okay.
Would you tell me and I'll turn it over?
Yeah. 10 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you. And then you two guys being married, maybe you went for the same card.
7 of Hearts. Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, that was it.
And
You sure?
mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just,
I'm
So
loving
I've-
Joel's face. Sorry.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Claire. And so yeah, that's the 3 things.
They're brilliant. They're just brilliant. That's an
So-
act. Mark, that's an act.
Oh yeah. It's I mean that's a large part of my opening close-up set if I was doing walk around magic.
Okay.
So-
I mean, you could perform
Yeah,
a lot
when-
of that on stage as well. I mean, it's such
Yeah.
strong card magic.
I don't do the think of a card on stage because I
Right.
think it's one of those things that it's really powerful for the people that you do it on. But
Okay.
the other people kind of think, well, maybe they're just agreeing. You know,
I
like,
see.
I think the master deck's much more powerful on stage because people name the card and bang, there it is.
Yeah, right. Oh wow, when that Queen of Spades just rolls up, that was.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, the first time I ever saw a magician in a magic competition perform the rising card.
Yeah.
But for me to just say a playing card, and that's the card that rises out of the pack, is, I mean, if that's amazing for me, for spectators, that's gonna have an impact.
I think it's occurred to me recently that with this whole pandemic and this social distancing, you know, people talking through screens and talking at a distance, you know, this kind of magic is going to be more and more popular. Stuff where you don't have to take something and sign it and put it in, and you know.
Yeah.
Well, all of those effects that you've done this evening have been done at social distance over the internet.
Yeah.
And I mean, 4 magicians, and everybody's mind's blown. So imagine a lay person. They're just gonna.
It's strong. It's strong for lay people.
Yeah.
Mac, we've just had a question come in. This is from Barry Glassner. He's saying, does the price include shipping to the US?
That's a good question. I was going to do free shipping for the UK, but the US is really that'll be quite expensive for me to send that.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is, I mean, if you were to buy this at the usual price on the website of £135, you're still going to be paying the shipping anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, already for £75.
I'll tell you what I'll do for the US. Even though the shipping, it'll probably cost me £12. I'll do it for just £5. So just if it's outside if it's UK, free shipping. If it's outside the UK, just £5.
Wow.
Okay.
That's really generous.
So I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah. No, but that's really generous. That's amazing. So that's Bang On, the Master Deck, and Thinker 2.0, all for £75, and that's usually £135 plus shipping. If you're in the UK, that's free shipping, or if you're in the States or overseas, you're basically splitting the cost of the shipping with you. So
so it's £80. It's £80 for the bundle if you're outside the UK. If you're in, it's £75. I mean, it's, oh my word, I can't talk. My brain's fried. It's
you're too kind. Thank you.
And if somebody wants to pick that up, it's just marcoberon1@googlemail.com. Just drop that with PayPal, and that's it.
And just type in the description playing card bundle, and then Mark obviously knows what that's for.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh wow.
Oh my word. Oh, I think I'm going to have a lie down.
You are. That was brilliant.
Claire's been sat over and she's watching it on her phone, and there's a bit of a delay. So I'm obviously in real time with you, and there's about a 5-second delay. So I'm watching it going, oh, and then I'm looking at Claire and she's like,
Actually, I've got another one I can show you. Can you bring Claire over again one more time?
Yeah,
would you mind that, Claire? Just need to be able to see her. Oh, hi, Claire. Hello. Claire, I want you to imagine that there's a deck of cards floating in the air in front of you. Would you just reach out, actually reach out and mime the action of taking one card?
Okay, I've got one.
What card do you see there?
I see the 10 of diamonds.
The 10 of diamonds, right, okay. What I'd like you to do, please, Claire, is to take that card and fold it in half.
Okay.
Thank you. And in half again. Oh, lost you. Okay, so you've got a card folded into quarters. Would you toss it through the screen? I'll see if I can catch it. Yeah. Oh. What was the card, Claire?
It was the 10 of diamonds. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe.
That just looks so good.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Incarnation, which is out at the moment. This is my latest release, Incarnation 2.0, which I'm very proud of.
It's so good.
It fits in, but this I'm selling as a separate thing.
Yeah.
But and I'm selling it for £49, right? It's not part of a bundle, but I'm going to give a free gift, which is this. Now this looks the same as the other thing, but this is not. There's no switch involved in this. This is a gimmick that is very. What I'm trying to say is, I'm going to throw in one of these free.
Oh wow!
No instructions, but you will understand it when you understand that.
Okay.
And this is like a folded card that can be, if I wanted this to be the two of clubs, it can be the two of clubs. Or I might say, actually, no, I want it to be the 9 of diamonds. Or perhaps I want it to be the 5 of spades. And I say, no, I actually want the Queen of Hearts. So this is a folded card that can be one of 4 different cards.
Wow.
And I will release this with routines. But anybody who orders Incarnation 2.0 from me will get one of these free. And this will be released maybe in 6 months or so with routines that go with it. But I also would welcome anybody who gets one of these to let me know of what routines, of how you're thinking about using it. I mean, I know we talked, I've got about 7 or 8 different effects that you can do with this already, but I've got a feeling that when it gets out there, that people are going to come up with all kinds of things that never even dreamed of, and perhaps if that's so, then I'll include it with in the link, include with the credits of the name of the person, of course. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That really is really good.
Incarnation 2.0, and that includes the free gimmick.
Yeah, that's
brilliant. Wow. And this just a question here. You've set up the discount code. Would that be applicable on your discount code as well?
Yes. Yes, it will. It will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I'll recognize that it's come from there, and I'll put the free gift in with it.
Oh wow, well, that's amazing.
Mark, that's amazing. We have had a question from Gary Middleton. Does it matter if you're left-handed for the master deck?
I'm actually left-handed myself.
Ah.
So the question is, does it matter if you're right-handed?
Yeah. No, I think actually with magic in general, I think whatever you can do with one hand, you can do with the other, and and I think it's I've kind of learned that. Sometimes you think, well, I can't do that because I'm left-handed, but actually you can. You can learn anything.
Yeah. Wow, they're just all amazing pieces of magic, and there is another bundle as well.
Yeah. I've got another bundle.
But this isn't just a bundle. This is the big bundle.
Yeah. So there's a few effects. I'll show you just a couple of effects.
Okay.
Like for example, this one. This is something I've been using for years. I say now I have a piece of paper inside the envelope. It's important that the whole audience understands there's really only one piece of paper in the envelope.
Yeah.
Actually, for this one. Is Claire handy again? Just because it's better to use a non-magician. Claire, can you come back again? Hello again. Hi. So, Claire, I've got a piece of paper in here with a number on it, and I'm going to try and put the number into your mind. I'll give you a couple of clues. The first clue is it's a 2-digit number. 2 digits to it. It's under 50. Now, each digit is an odd number, and the numbers are different from each other. So it couldn't be 11. It could be, say, 17. Now, it isn't 17. What number do you think it might be?
13.
13. only one piece of paper in the envelope. It happens to be 13. Thank you, Claire. So,
Oh my word! Well,
thank you.
fantastic.
So yeah, this is an effect. I call it 37. This is part of the bundle. Now, I know for the magicians out there, we all know that 37 is most commonly the named number. You know, in that sort of situation, whatever number they name, it's going to come out that envelope with this effect.
Right.
And a nice touch that I do when I'm on a stage, I'm talking to the person at two-digit number under 50, each is odd, both different from each other. And before they reveal it, I say, you know, the thing is, Claire, there's a lot of people in the audience at the moment thinking of the number 37, like that. And you gets a gasp from the audience. And I'm looking at how they react. Now, if they go, yeah, I say, and you were too, right? There we go. But if there's no reaction, but you weren't. No, good. Because I wasn't sending you 37. I was just getting 37 from them. What number did you get? They say 13, 39, or whatever. And there we go. So you've got that, you've got the one-to-one connection, as well as
I think he might have. I think he might have cut out for a moment. So, there we go. You're back. You're okay.
You're back. Sorry, Mark.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So that's.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Here's another one. Joel, I've got a piece of paper in my top pocket.
Okay.
Obviously, I wouldn't follow this effect after the other effect. I wouldn't do the two together. But on this piece of paper, there's a number. I'll put the number into your mind. Okay. Don't guess just yet. Right?
Okay.
Couple of clues. It's a two-digit number.
Okay.
Each digit is an even number, and the numbers are different from each other.
Okay.
What do you think it might be?
24.
24. Yeah. It's only one piece of paper in the envelope.
Oh, wow. That's
Now,
amazing.
Interestingly, 24 is I've discovered this by accident. 24 is an even stronger psychological force than 37. Right. So when I'm on a stage, I actually say, there's a lot of people in the audience now thinking of the number 24. And I get an even bigger gasp than I do for the 37 one when I do it on another night. So
right.
This is basically way out.
Okay.
I'm coming right back. Yeah, that's 37.
Okay.
And this is way out. This is way out 12. And this is a top pocket switcher that can take 3 4-way outs. That makes sense. So you've got 12 outs from your top pocket, but it just looks like one piece of paper.
Oh, wow.
What I've also got is these are replacements. These are 4-way blanks, the same ones that you use in here. There's an extra 10. You do get 10 with the actual trick, but you get an extra 10 here. And also with the actual trick, I should point out, you've got birth signs and you've got names on pre-printed cards. So there's an extra 10 blanks there. These are 5 large ones. These are ones that are about this big, but they're 3-way. So you can open it and it can be any one of 3 pieces of paper. And then this is 15 small 3-ways, right?
Okay.
So, and there is a book which, just give me one moment.
All right, no, don't worry.
Joel, I've just noticed our faces, and we're just like that.
Yeah, thank you. This is the book. This is based on the 3-ways. All right. So when I said the large 3-way and also the smaller one, so you get the book and you get these two, and the book, goes through various theories and ways of using the paper, so you really get an understanding of how to fold them and unfold them and to use them in stand-up routines.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get all of that. Then, oh, there it is. And then I've got some lecture notes, Epic, which are from they're about 10 years old. But there's various effects in here. There is a thing with a date where you guess the year that someone was born. There's an early version of the cat. And the thing I did with the cat. It's better now, but it's the early version of it. And there's the Epic pad, which was like a pad that like a mental epic, but it was drawn on. We released it with Alakazam, but there's a basic understanding of it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Psych Out, which is a booklet of stand-up mentalism routines with a whiteboard. So
I actually bought that off you a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh well, that's
Brilliant.
that's it. But without the whiteboard, just the gimmick, which is a magnetic tick that can be used. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So and then there's also this, which is I've only got 4 of these. So if anybody, this is a really good value bundle. But if anybody, the first 4 can have these. But I've only got 4 of them left. This is my hat system. This is my approach to creating magic. The different hats that we need to wear. The designer, the choreographer, the practicer, the assembler, and all the thinking behind it. So it's magical theory. And then, of course, the last thing is my, which I don't know, the last thing which goes with it is this thing.
Brilliant.
So, that's your book. Oh.
Yeah. So normally this is £40 on its own. But anyway, all of that stuff together, the whole lot would come to, what was it? We worked this out.
£190.
Yeah, £190, but it's just 80. So it's less than half price. £80 for the whole lot.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I'm just going to go over that really quickly, right? So this is the big bundle deal that includes Epic, your hat system, grips, lines, and looks, 37, which is the number prediction, Psych Out, the booklet, which is amazing. I genuinely bought that myself as well. I've used it in a stage routine, and it's so nice. And Way Out with refills.
Yeah, a lot of refills of different sizes. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. And that's only £80. It's usually £190, so it's less than half price, and it's a lot of magic, right?
Yeah.
If people want to pick this up and take advantage of it, again, go on to PayPal, marcoberon1@googlemail.com. Yeah. I mean, they've all sold by now. Have you got any left?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet, and I'll just have to go with the earliest ones for
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
if I have to refund somebody, then I will.
Yeah.
All right.
And obviously, in the description, type big bundle, because obviously the one previously was about the same price. Just makes it easier for Mark when he's together.
Well, I guess if there isn't an option there, some people don't have the option to add a note. If they don't, I think we'll figure it out just by the amount added on there.
Yeah. Because I see what you mean. Because one's 75 and one's 80. Yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody's international as well, it'll be £80 for their first one, and so yeah.
Excellent.
But Mark, that's unbelievable, Mark. Honestly, just. Everybody's just in the comments. Love him, genius, beautifully done. They just, I think you've made everybody's Wednesday evening, Mark. If not the week, month, probably the month.
Very kind of you. Thank you so much.
So I've got one more question for you, Mark. Your mind must never switch off. Do you sleep much?
Of course I sleep. I mean, sometimes I have anxious thoughts. Sometimes lay in bed, can't go to sleep. But sometimes if I'm really excited about something, like last night, actually, I went to bed, and because of this happening today, I was really, I was excited, but I was also very nervous about it. And I was thinking, what to do? I thought, well, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just prepare everything and just work out what I'm going to do. And I was really on edge, and I just could not sleep. So I actually got up, and I went to bed about midnight. But in the end, I just got up and I just I started playing around and preparing things. And went to bed about 3.
Yeah.
Ifty Ahmed has just said, "What's the code for Marc's website to get the 20% off, please?" I've just put that up on the screen for you, Ifty. You can see that discount on there, my friend.
Yeah, workers 20. And that'll be till the end of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, just until the end of June. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
brilliant.
talking about you're not switching off and that, is there anything in the pipeline? Are you working on anything? Is there anything you can tell us about that's, that you're hoping to release in the future? Or
yeah, I've got 2 peak devices which I'm really excited about.
okay.
They're really it's just that thing of taking the time to get it just right. I mean, it's taking just sourcing the right materials and working out which glues work and the production of it and trying to make it all cost effective. But I've got another thing like this. This is a prototype of something I'm thinking about doing. So, Joel, just name any birth sign, please.
Birth sign, sorry, Taurus.
Taurus. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've got a piece of paper in the envelope, and it's important to know there's only one piece of paper in the envelope. Interesting thing is that what's written on that piece of paper, again, just one thing.
That's amazing.
So it's a 4-way out envelope. You can have sorry, it's a 12-way out envelope. You can have 12 possibilities, and in fact, I've got quite a lot of things. I'm going to have a stage version, which is bigger, and a pocket version. Okay. And it's just getting the right material, so it's durable, and it'll last, and it can be waterproof and this sort of thing.
That's amazing. That's so good.
That is unbelievable. And being able to open it to show nothing else inside.
Yeah. It's clean, isn't it? I know. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, really nice.
That's what threw me. I was thinking, hang on a minute. Yeah. And then when you show that envelope empty, that's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, brilliant.
I'm on about the 15th or 16th prototype of that now.
Are you feeling like you're getting there?
Well, I've definitely got the thing right now. There's magnets involved in it and all the materials, but the actual material to make the envelope out itself, I've tried. I ordered a lot today, and it came, and I've just realised it can't. It's not going to work. So I've actually got to keep searching for the right material. There's plenty of materials that will do the job fine, but I know that people on the, they review it, and after a while they say, oh, it's worn out. After opening and closing, it's going to wear out. So I want something that's really durable.
Sure. So one little thing that I noticed on your website is that you don't have a mailing list. How can people keep up with your creation?
That's something I've really been out of touch with. So I would if anybody would like to be on my mailing list, just email me and I'll add you to it, so that when that 12-way envelope comes out, when my new peak devices come out, you'll just automatically be informed of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just marcoberon1@googlemail.com.
Googlemail.com. I'm going to add this up. Hopefully I've written that right. So there we go. If you want to join Marc's mailing list, get in touch with marcoberon1@googlemail.com. And that's how we can all keep updated. Because I always purchase my magic when I can directly with the creator. And the one difficult thing is obviously, you're coming up with ideas all the time, but when you come up with your ideas, they're going to be going on your website. And obviously we don't always think about checking the creator's website directly. So get in touch, people. If you want to join the mailing list, marcoberon1@googlemail.com.
Yeah. And then you're guaranteed to obviously get them before the big suppliers get them and everybody else gets them. So you can be performing it months, in fact, sometimes years in advance.
Well, no, I think that when you make a deal with a big supplier, they want me to release it at the same time as them. So
I still directly.
I've always been working with big suppliers. I've never really developed the art of having a client base and looking after them. But
Yeah.
I really think that's the way to go. That's what I should be doing. And
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
Willie Max just asked a really good question. He said, if we buy stuff from your site, do they get put on the list automatically?
yeah, there's no reason why not, is there? Because I'll have their email, so I should be able to do that. Yes,
Yeah.
that is a great question, and I hadn't really thought it through. But that makes sense. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, Matt, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It's been
unbelievable.
I've really enjoyed it. I mean, I was all stressed, all like wound up about it.
I don't know why you were. Like, you are just like natural on a camera anyway. 'Cause I know you were talking about when you perform in shows, if there's ever a camera there, you get a bit anxious or nervous about it. But you're natural on screen.
Oh, thank you. It's a weird thing actually, because you know I'm still tempted to be looking out here and kind of holding the audience, but you can only really, you just got to keep looking there. It's got to realign my looking skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Bertrand says that was amazing. Paul Sylvester says there's only one Marc Oberon, and Matt being a football style champ, I don't know. So yeah, hey, thank you, Matt. We've loved having you on. You should go and get yourself a cup of tea.
Yeah,
right.
Don't forget, sign up to his mailing list, and
Absolutely.
you know, go and check them out because he's only got limited stock. So go and get yourself some amazing effects.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you guys for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
It's a pleasure. Anytime, Mark. Anytime. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. Look after yourself. Take it easy. Take care. Bye. 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 Wow.
Oh, listen, we normally have a bit of a waffle, but I'm going to go and buy some stuff before it all goes. You know, it's going to be the easiest sell to Claire because I'm going to buy that stuff. She'll be like, okay, get it.
Oh, I'm going to the. Are you picking a bundle? Which one are you going for? Big bundle.
No. Oh God, I can't. I don't have his book. I want his book. Right. So I might do. I really liked the coin routine. I really like that coin.
Yeah,
that was just.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's three. I'm not just saying it, but I would say that is one of the best 3 flies I've seen. Genuinely. Like,
do you know what I was impressed with? And it's not going to mean anything to anybody but other than magicians. He was right in front of the camera. There was no noise.
Yes. Yeah.
There was no.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking that's a good point. I was thinking as he was performing it because he did it silently. I was thinking it works so well silently.
Yeah.
So performing that on stage with no sound would look amazing.
But even closer. Yeah.
Closer. And it's the kind of routine, I would say. Well, the coins are nice and big as well, aren't they? So, you know, the parlor setting in the Vanishing Cabaret or wherever, you know, in a nice parlor style cabaret, it's just going to look amazing. I'd say it's one of those routines that when you master that routine and, you know, you can perform it close up, you can perform it on stage, and it's a few coins. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, unbelievable. I just.
I tell you
feel
what.
Like, go on.
You feel like what?
I was just going to say every week it's just my mind's been blown. I'm like,
I know. Well, I'm going to race you to Mark's website because I'm going to go and get the bundle now.
Shall we have a race? Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2,